All right, everybody. Whoops. I've got the audio on the secondary computer. It wouldn't be normal if the show started on a regular, smooth. So this is just like every week. There's a few bumps, there's a few bruises along the way. But hey, welcome everybody and thanks for joining us this Sunday evening. I am Peter Brown, joined by my partner in crime, Uncle Ed. Say hi, Ed.
How's it going, guys? And whoopsie, we always, kind of screw up a little bit in the beginning because that's, we're kind of screw up. So,
Well,
that's how we are.
we never said we're professionals at this. We're just doing it. Like we used to always
Man.
back in the old days when we did Ultras Alive. We used to say, we're doing it whether you like it or not, right? So,
Because we're fans.
Right.
More than anything, we're fans. We're not professional. We just like talking soccer.
that's it.
And that's why we're here.
That's it. And so, welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us. And this week it's just me and Ed, but next week we do have a pretty big guest lined up for next week, I believe, right, Ed?
Next week. Yes. We actually have the next, I think, 3 weeks pretty much set. We've got a lot of good guests that are coming in, and we're pumped up. You can tell them if you want, Peter. It's all
Well, Ed this weekend got a chance to hang out with the one and only Juan Agudelo, and so Juan graciously said yes to coming onto the show, and so he will be joining us next week. So everybody can start to mark it on your calendar, pay attention to your schedule next week, make yourself available so you could join in and ask Juan Agudelo some questions. This is another guy that I find it super interesting to ask questions of these guys that have been in the league for a while, because there's just so many things that go on in MLS that we just don't know about. Like little things like, when I was talking to the Miami FC coach and now general manager Paul Dalglish, and we talked to AJ about it, it's just like the fatigue it takes on your body. Like, okay, look, I know it's hard to play in the summer. I get it. But when you hear the player sitting there telling you, man, my stomach was just like gut wrenched, from playing in that kind of heat. That's the kind of stuff I find really, really interesting to talk to these players. Things that are happening behind the scenes, like for example, you're told, you're traded to Toronto, and then the next, within a few days or a week or whatever, you're told you're moving to Miami. I mean, what's that?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine, Ed, somebody just tells you tomorrow, pack up your bags, you're moving to Nashville.
Yeah, that's got to be something incredible. Well, I was able to talk to him for a little bit, man, and he was just like, yeah, it was a little, overwhelming, everything, because he didn't know what was going to happen, and thinking that one moment, like you said, he's going to Toronto, and then all of a sudden, he's going to Miami, and
Right.
And I'll tell you, he was really pumped up about coming to Miami. He was just like, this is where I wanted to be. This is really exciting. He's like, everywhere I go, they're talking Spanish. He's like, it's like being in a different country. So he looked really pumped up, and more than anything, he was mentioning that the supporters groups over here
Mm-hmm.
seem to be so different from the ones up in New England and and the other teams that he's been with. He was saying it was like he felt like he was back home. He's originally from Colombia,
Okay.
so he was born over there. And he's like, he grew up with that. So he's like, when he saw that we had the murgas, which is the drums with the little thing on top,
Okay.
that's the murga. And then the one of the guys in the bombo, he was going crazy, and he was like, dude, he was so excited
Yeah.
about that. So he's excited. He said he wanted to start playing soccer that moment. So I was just like, all right, let's go. But he needs to save himself up for the real game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he can't start, because from what I understood, because I was trying to line up a player interview a while ago, and it just for whatever reason didn't happen. We had actually a player's dad reach out to me out of nowhere, and that didn't happen. I think I should revisit that. But what was interesting that I just hadn't thought of was that the players, their contracts don't start till January. So I was like asking the father, for example, like, questions that, pertain to the team maybe and things like that. And just like, he's not under contract till January. So but it's January, right? So
Yeah.
we don't want these guys breaking anything or hurting, pulling anything. I mean, with you possibly out on the field and taking Juan Agudelo out, I mean, and you might take him out for the season just because you're trying to reach for the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But I also know when the preseason's going to start, and I'm not going to say anything about that. It's only going to be between Peter and myself for now.
Oh, really?
Until the team announces it.
Oh,
yeah, because that's something that he wasn't sure if he should say where they're going to do it and all that. So
all right.
So I'm only going to share that with you, Peter. Sorry, guys, and I'm not too much in the whole gossip thing.
Just whisper it right now. No one else will hear it. Just you and me. Oh, really?
Yeah. But it's cool. It's I'm excited because these guys are going to start practicing soon, and it's just hopefully it'll be open so people can go and at least watch them for a while. It's probably not, at least in the beginning. I imagine they're going to try to keep that under wraps for a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And we're gonna get to the main topic of tonight in a few minutes, but you talked about training, and I was out at Lockhart today, and you'll see it in tomorrow's Monday's construction update that they're starting to lay sod on those backfields, the fields that are right up against the airport. So they're started on the northwest corner, and then they're moving east. So all those back pitches that I've been videoing just as dirt for several weeks and months is now starting to get the sod, and as quickly as they lay sod, I would imagine 1 or 2 weeks and it's all done. Maybe 1 week and it's all done. I don't know, but so and then the main training pitch has had sod for a good month now. So I don't know how long it takes for it to really root before they could train on it, but obviously they're not going to take any chances, and they're going to train at other places, at least in the first several training sessions.
It looks pretty cool, and I follow the guy that's doing the grounds on Twitter, so he's always giving updates on everything. So it looks like it's really cool. And Juan said he was just there the day before on Saturday. Yeah, he was there on Saturday, so or was it Friday?
No.
And he said he looked great. He's like, I was like, could you play on it? And he's like, it looked like he could play on it.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks ready to go. But that guy that you talked about, Matt Burchek. I don't remember how you say his last name. Whatever it is. But
we'll get it right next time.
Yeah, well, let's get him on the show. Let's talk grass.
Yeah, we could do
let's talk grass.
Yeah, let's talk. That's a good idea.
I think it's funny. You read his tweets, and it's total like grass nerd. I mean, everybody's got their. Yeah. I mean, that's what you want, though. You want your guy that's in charge of the fields to be a total nerd on grass, and he's like geeking out over grass and stuff. I think it's funny.
Yeah, the soil samples and stuff. And it's cool, man. We'll definitely talk to him about that. I don't know if our ratings are going to be any good, because we're going to be talking about dirt and grass, but it could work out.
I don't know. I think I find odd things interesting. Some other people may find them interesting as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll go for it. All
right. Well, anyways, let's welcome everybody in. Welcome One World, One Goal. Ernie Fernandez is in. Tyler Daniels. Welcome back, Eric Thomas. Bruno Vieira is in there. Ricky Ricardo's in there, our old buddy.
Ricky. Yeah.
Ernie Fernandez. I'm not sure if I mentioned him. Klaus Lopez is in there. Who else we got? Broke Boy Industries.
Oh, goodness. Sean the Fish Slayer. He's one of my favorites right there.
And there's Ignacio Rendon and Sean the Fish Slayer.
Yeah. That's a cool one. I
like the creative names.
Cool.
Wasn't there one that was making fun of you recently?
Yeah, there was, but I guess he's not on right now. Well, when he does show up, I'll mention him.
Oh, okay. You don't want to mention him without, because I don't remember what the name was, but it was funny.
Yeah, it was something, making fun of me.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And there's that pee-pee poo-poo guy who isn't on yet.
Right. All right, well.
That's one of my favorites.
Well, welcome, everybody. But let's talk a little bit about uniforms, Ed. There a couple of uniforms leaked out, and we're going to put the images up right now. So let's first pull up the white kit. And let's just talk a little bit about it. First,
well, I wanted to bring up the guys that bring up this that actually had the leak. They're pretty well known for being accurate.
Okay.
There's been very few times when they haven't gotten them right, and so they're reputable. They're people who actually get it right most of the time. But you were going to say, Peter, that let's start with the white shirt, right?
Yeah, we got everybody right now looking at the white. We got two images up, one with the guy actually wearing the shirt. So that definitely makes it look more official. Now, of course, I know things can be photoshopped and all that. I mean, I work in the Photoshop type business, so I get it. That does not look photoshopped. That it looks like a legit photo of somebody wearing a shirt. And I know that you and I had some chats back and forth where you thought that this just looked like the training shirt that the kids have been wearing. And I would agree. I mean, it's 100% that.
Yeah. When I saw it, that's why I thought it was fake. Somebody had put it up, I think, on Facebook on one of the group chats. Yeah. And I was just like, dude, it looks like the ones that the kids are wearing. Yeah. At least the white one is so simple. And frankly, I'm disappointed, Peter. Because if that's the inaugural jersey, and that's going to be the home jersey, first of all, it's white.
Right.
Why does it have to? Why is it white?
Well,
why isn't it pink?
I did hear, and I don't know how much truth there is to this type of stuff, but I did hear that the MLS was pushing for everybody to have a white home jersey. I don't know why. I don't think it makes any sense. You've always had not always, but for many years, you've had Columbus Crew that have had a black away and a yellow home. So why can't we do the same concept? So it makes me think of two things. Is this the league kind of mandating that, which I doubt that, right? So even though I said it, I doubt that. Or is it more Beckham? Because this made me think about when Beckham went to LA. LA had their sash jerseys, and they were green, and they so they rebranded, and part of the rebrand were simple, clean jerseys. They had an all white, and then they had the all dark blue, and there was thought that they were doing that to make Beckham happy because he was wearing that all crisp white at Real Madrid and he liked it, and so this is that. There was rumors or talk about that LA did that to appease him. Could that be happening again? Could this really be the fashion designer? Look, if we're going to lean on Beckham for anything on this team, you think it'd be two things: one, getting some big name players, and two, fashion. The guy's in the fashion industry, right?
Right.
So you'd think you'd lean on him for that, and he might have a lot of say in that. So, I mean, what do you think? Could it be that this is what Beckham likes, and that's what we're getting?
I don't think it is, man, because like you said, it's something. I think it's an Adidas thing. I think they.
Well, they definitely want to use their templates.
Yeah, and it's. I think they've become lazy, man, because I mean, all the jerseys. I mean, we got how many teams? 20-something teams already, and. They have a lot of work. I mean, a lot of teams. I just think they're getting lazy. There's no competition to make better jerseys. Right. So whatever they throw out is what they throw out, and people have to buy it because there's no other jerseys. Now, if we had like Nike or some other competing jersey companies in there, then I think they'd be more creative. They tried to outdo it themselves, but. Adidas basically has a monopoly on all MLS, so they could do whatever the hell they want. And I think this is an example of what they're doing. They have that 3-stripe concept that we're going to see in the black jersey. Apparently, that's something that I think you mentioned that they
we'll talk about
are going to go with that look.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Let's still talk. Why not pink, right?
Why not pink? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think they've gotten lazy. Okay, well,
but okay, look, but you're saying lazy and all that stuff, and Adidas is forcing it, but Adidas forces you to use templates, right? They don't force you to use specific colors because there's red ones, there's blue ones, there's purple ones, there's white ones. I mean, they can make any color you want. So I can understand them forcing us to use a simple design, but they're not forcing you to use a specific color. That's a team decision.
Yeah, that's the team probably saying, let's go with the white.
Now, if that's a Beckham decision, or the other thing that's interesting is that I remember seeing several tweets from Jorge Mas saying that our jerseys were going to be fire, right? That they kept using the emojis fire, or thumb up emojis. That these are going to be hot jerseys, and that he's already. At one point, they said they had already designed like 9 jerseys, like jerseys for several years into the future.
Right.
And this is supposed to be so fire. Plain white T-shirt, basically, is fire.
Boring.
Now, I will give if you kind of look in, and we'll pull up that image again. I don't think you can really see it in these images that I have. Maybe a little bit. There are some little imprints of the crest throughout. Kind of really lightly in there. You can see it a little bit on the one where the guy's wearing the shirt. So you'll see a little bit of heron imprint, but that's fine. I mean, that's something that we as fans wear it and you notice it, but you never notice that from somebody from 5 feet away.
Right.
So,
well, one of the things that One World, One Goal is saying is that maybe these are the warm-up shirts.
I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. I think, there's, like you said, this site is fairly reputable. And so the other sites I've seen that have kind of shared this as well are somewhat reputable as well. And they're going along with it. And so it's possible that it's a warm-up shirt, for sure. But
another thing, maybe they're making room for sponsors. That might make the jersey look better.
Well, it will. It will look better with sponsors, for sure, because it's plain. It needs something.
Right now, by itself.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have a problem with a plain jersey. Sometimes those look good when you put a sponsor on. But it should have been the solid pink, and then have on the stripes this should be black, and then they can wear same color shorts if they want, or change it up and wear black shorts, like black shorts with a pink top. That would look good. And if they wanted to look white from a distance, our pink is so light it's gonna look almost white.
Right.
So I don't get it. So as most people are saying in the chat and everything, it's a big fail. I would agree. I'll buy it, I guess. But let's
that's one thing I wanted to mention. It's gonna say probably inaugural shirt or something. It's gonna be the first jersey ever. So we're kind of like obligated to buy it.
Yeah, we'll buy at least one of them. I mean, will you buy? Yeah. Will you buy both jerseys? That's the question.
I probably will, because I'm a nerd like that.
Well, usually they put on these MLS jerseys. Usually it's like in the back of the neck or something. They'll put some inscription, like you're saying, inaugural or free to dream or whatever. Forget what's the slogan? Something about freedom. But
freedom to dream.
Yeah. So maybe they'll put that up there, or they'll put it somewhere underneath on the bottom. But somewhere somewhat hidden is where they usually put it on the inside, or even on the outside. Sometimes they'll put it near the top of the neck.
Yeah.
But all right, so let's one question that did pop up, and I don't remember who asked, so forgive me. But they had asked like what the prices more than likely will be. Well, just go and buy previous years. It'll be somewhere in that same neighborhood. So an authentic jersey last year, all teams were the same price. They're $119.99.
Wow, that's a good price. But we're the nerds that we are. We're definitely gonna buy them.
So if you want the replica,
take my money.
If you want that's the authentic jersey, right? So that's the one the players are wearing. The replica, which my memory serves, and I haven't touched an MLS jersey in a while, but quite often what I remember is the authentic ones. The patch actually isn't as nice, because it's kind of like this iron-on patch, whereas the replicas quite often actually have an embroidered patch. Sometimes the replicas are a little bit nicer, but they're missing those cool like MLS patches and things that you want. Like as a fan, right. I want that. I want the MLS patch too, and I don't think the replica will have that. But the replicas are going for $84.99, so $85. And then if you want to get a name on the back, now you're starting to add up some coin as well. That's an extra $10 to $20. Because I'm seeing some, depends on the player. I'm looking at Atlanta's, and I'm seeing some for 115, some for women's 125, men's 135. So okay, I get it. So the replica is 115 with a name on the back and a number, and women's with a name for replica is 125, and the men's with replica is 135 as well with a name. So
wow.
So all the ones that they're listing at least. Okay, here's for authentic. If you want the authentic with the name on the back, you're now. You ready, Ed?
Hit me with it, because I'm probably going to get one with my name in the back.
So you want a name on the back, and you want it to be authentic.
And my number.
Well, a name and number. It comes together. $170.
Oh! Ouch, that hurts, man. This is where we need special effects, Peter, for next show.
Well, why don't you just do the special effects?
Okay. Well, I'll do that next time.
Well, just make some noises.
All right. Yeah. Well, I just did a.
Oh yeah. That was good.
All
That was
right.
good. I bought it. All right. So let's look at the black jerseys. So the black jerseys, Ed, are again more or less solid black. These are a V-neck, which is interesting, and has the 3 stripes on the shoulder. Some people are kind of calling it like and forgive me if I say it wrong, an epaulette or epaulette. Kind of a military thing. That's what a lot of people are saying. It kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
I don't hate this jersey.
I don't either, but it doesn't. It's cool.
I don't love it. Well, that's the bad thing. If winter jerseys are supposed to be fire,
right?
My reaction should not be, I don't hate it.
Right. Yeah, it's better than the white one. Like that's all I can say.
Yes and no, because I agree, but I do like the clean look. I just wish it was clean pink.
Yeah, well, Pinocchio's saying he's just gonna go to Hialeah and he's gonna buy over there the jersey. In Hialeah.
I don't know if it'll still happen here at Lockhart. I imagine it will on the outskirts of the property. But back in the old days, Ed, back when it was the Miami Fusion, I don't know if you remember all the guys standing outside selling replica shirts. And I actually have one. I have a replica Fusion shirt. And their replica shirt, it wasn't trying to look like the official jersey. It was like a different version of it. But it was nice. And I don't wear it now because I was fat at that time. And it's very large.
Well, the V-neck though. I'm not too much of a fan with it. We actually have.
Although you're wearing it,
our FMTV ones. Yeah, I'm not. When I saw, Ricky Ricardo made the design. So I, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I was like, oh man, a V-neck.
Yeah.
I'm not too much of a fan of those. So
I hear you. I've got like 1 or 2. One being the FMTV shirt, so I'm right there with you. On a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But I'm not crazy for them. So. The rumors are, well, they're not rumors because it was leaked. Here we've got an image I put up, Ed, that I shared with you of FIFA Mobile. So this is the FIFA EA Sports FIFA game that you play on your phone. Apparently have already been have leaked these jerseys with the stripes, and so that leads you to believe EA Sports. I mean, did they make a mistake by putting it out too soon? Yeah, probably. But I don't imagine they're trying to fool anybody. So that adds legitimacy to these shirts. And
if you see the Colorado Rapids one,
it looks good.
Just like but it looks just like the Inter Miami black one, kind of.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
They all
it's basically,
but they all
the same thing.
Well, the difference being on the Colorado one, it does have some like diagonal lines going through it, which I did not see in the black version for ours. So I think the Colorado one looks pretty good. I think it actually looks pretty sharp on the second image that we're showing, which is the LA Galaxy, because they've got their sash, and that is silver, and then their stripes are silver as well, and it's not as like in your face. It's a little more subtle, I think, and I think that it doesn't look bad at all. Then you got on the other image that we're showing is the Atlanta United image. And again, I don't hate it. But it's also because I think all 3 of these shirts have something else besides a plain shirt. The Colorado has some horizontal stripes. You've got the sash on LA Galaxy, and then on Atlanta you also have some thick stripes that go down the middle. They're the 5 stripes, so they've got their stripes. So there's something else besides just these 3 shoulder stripes that we have. So there's a little more to the design. Obviously, you slap a pink sponsor on there and it looks better.
Right. Well, we're definitely gonna. I think that both jerseys are gonna look a lot better with the sponsors on there. Because right now, well, at least the white one, I'm not buying it.
So on this black one though, Ed, what do you think about FIFA? Oops, leaking some images.
Whoopsie. Yeah.
I mean, they're a pretty big company. I'd say they're probably a bigger company than MLS is, right?
Right. And well, it's leaked. It already leaked right a little bit before, and well, when did the game come out? Maybe they
I
leaked
don't.
it first.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it came out first. I just saw it online that it was FIFA that leaked it, as far as the stripes on the shoulder. So I'm not
Gotcha.
exactly sure. You know
Who did it
who
first?
did it first. Yeah, but I don't imagine FIFA putting out a bunch of shirts that aren't authentic, right? Because they want the games to be as real as possible. These aren't the games of the '90s and where they just wear anything. They
Right.
want these things to look legit. It's part of the
These are
fun
the
of
real McCoys.
part of the fun of playing these games, right?
They were the real McCoys, Peter. That's what it looks like. But I'm crossing my fingers the white one isn't going to be the home one, because it's I'm not happy with
Well,
it.
yeah, I think it is, Ed. I think the question of the video, fake or real, I think they're real. We don't have a definite answer for you, but I got a really good feeling these are real. Um,
Fiddlesticks.
because also if you watch MLS for years now, which I know you do, these leaks happen every single year. Every team's jersey at some point gets leaked, right? And they're usually right.
Yeah.
They're usually right.
Wow. Well, we got to live with it, guys. And I think a lot of people are going to buy them anyway because it's the first year they're going to come out with those
They're going to
jerseys.
sell like crazy, anyways. Especially if we get a good name player and you throw that on the back, and so then you're going to get. But I do, something going back to going to Hialeah and buying them. It reminds me also of like when I was in Brazil, and I went to a couple of games, and just outside the stadium there, I bought a Santos jersey. It looks like the real deal. I spent $10 on
Wow,
it.
that's incredible. These guys they make them right there and then or something.
I don't know.
It's
And you
crazy.
go through like these little outdoor mall type things, these like flea market areas in Brazil as well. Tons of knockoff shirts all around, and they're a lot of times they're nicer than the real thing. And you don't have
Right.
to worry about you can wear them anywhere because you don't have to worry about them getting messed up because if they're so cheap. Who cares if they got messed up? You just replace it.
Just buy another
When
one.
you spend
Yeah, just buy another.
$170 on a shirt, you're only gonna wear that on like game day, and even then, like you might not want to wear it during tailgating because you don't want to get anything on it because it's too darn expensive.
Well, people are probably going to start getting them signed by the players too. So then you're not even going to
No,
wear
then you're
them,
putting you're
at
framing
all.
it.
Yeah, then you're putting it
Yeah.
away. Yeah, you're framing that sucker.
So going back to some of the chats, we've got I dig the collar. So Bruno actually likes the V-neck, Ed, and
Oh wow.
and
Who else we got?
Ernie likes the black as well. And One World, One Goal does make a good point in that we saw Moss wearing a pink shirt with Beckham when they were, they were. I saw it on a video where they were at the facility and stuff like that, and looking at players, or when they were at the training pitches and stuff. He was wearing a pink shirt, but I mean, I guess it doesn't mean anything, right?
No, no, I guess not. They probably, like you said, in the past they said that they made a whole bunch of different
Yeah.
designs. So that could be just one of the designs that he got, and that was probably rejected, and he figured, hey, I've got a sample, might as well wear it. Get people talking
Right.
about it.
So One World, One Goal is saying those shirts are missing the MLS crest on the sleeve in our colors, so probably aren't game jerseys then, only warm-up ones. I don't think that's accurate because if you go on MLSstore.com, the ones that they put up on their site, they don't have the crest either. So I know you could buy it with a crest. I know you can.
Right.
But just because that image didn't have the crest does not mean it's a training jersey. Because again, I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at MLS store, looking at jerseys, and they don't have, not many of them, if any, have the well, okay, there are some as I scroll down that show the MLS crest, but majority of them do not. So that's not necessarily an indicator of them being training, but
Yeah, we got more people talking about not liking the V-necks. Yeah, and One World, One Goal. Yes, I did mention that I'm wearing a V-neck, but I don't like it. I'm only wearing it because we don't have another FMTV shirt.
right.
So, yeah, but I'm not a fan of the V-neck. I'm just obligated to wear it.
Yeah,
FMTV.
you know what I'm exactly. You know what I'm looking forward to, Ed, is speaking of shirts and stuff, is again, if you go to MLSstore.com and you see like on the main image that comes up right now, they're advertising 60% off on stuff. Is I'm looking forward to like all the other gear that comes out that is not necessarily the jerseys, but they kind of look like warm-ups or they look like jerseys. Like on the picture, they've got this like, it looks kind of like a warm-up shirt, but it says Portland Timbers on it in green. It looks like, you know, the material that a jersey's made out of, that kind of dry fit material and stuff like that. Those kind of jerseys are shirts are fun to wear too. And there's, you know, I'm ready to spend some money. And so far we still don't have those on for us yet. But if you peruse through MLSsoccer.com or MLSstore.com, you see a ton of cool stuff that each team has that you know, we've yet to see with our logo. And you know, with the way the league works is most of the time they put out basically the same stuff for every team, just slap different colors and names on them. So I'm looking forward to you know, throwing my money at them as if they come out with some cool stuff. But so far, not much.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I never wanted to wear, and I think you brought this up before, that you were always against wearing pink. And, you know, it's kind of like your wife used to tell you, you know, wear a pink shirt, and you're like, nah, I don't want to wear it. Is that's something you had mentioned before? Yeah. I was the same way. I was like, no way I'm ever going to put pink on. But now I kind of wanted pink jersey.
Yeah, you know, it is funny what we'll do to support our club. Pink is not my favorite color, but it's my daughter's. She just bought came home excited after shopping, you know, and bought a new bedding set, and it's pink. And
did you tell her, honey, I'm gonna buy you a pink Inter Miami jersey? Did you tell her that? Is she gonna love that?
I'm not buying her a jersey.
Why not? It's pink.
Because my daughter doesn't even really want to go to the games, Ed. I'm forcing her to go to the games. I got, you know, a teenager. You know how that is. You had teenagers around for a while. You know, she doesn't even really want to go. I'm forcing her to go.
But what's not to like? I mean, there's going to be guys running around in, you know, shorts and, you know, I think she'll eventually like it. And then you're going to be like, okay, maybe this was a bad idea.
You think she's going to try to hook up? Luckily, I have still a very innocent 15-year-old. Mm-hmm. So, but but that is right around the corner for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
So maybe you're making things worse on yourself.
So, but the bottom line is bottom line is I'm not spending $170 on a shirt that she doesn't care about.
Right.
I'll buy one for me, and then I'll buy a cheaper one for my wife.
Oh man, that's evil.
What?
But it'll be pink.
What?
Yeah, it'll be pink.
Look, exactly. How much you want to bet? Okay, look, the game day jerseys and all that stuff are they're gonna be white. Okay, fine. Whatever. They're white. Let's say that's real. You know that these kind of like I'm talking about fun replica type of shirts that every team has, they're going to come out with some that are all pink for sure.
Well, that's something I'm talking. Well, we can talk about that now. There's usually a third. Jersey.
Not always though.
It's got to.
Not always.
Well, usually.
How many teams have a third jersey nowadays? I don't think very many do.
Most European ones, I think, have.
But MLS, I don't think very many currently do. Now, I mean, we have, back in the Fusion, we had that yellow and black one that was third jersey, and I actually loved it, so I bought it. Yeah. I have that one.
A lot of people have had that one. I didn't get to buy it, but I wanted to buy it. I was just broke.
And then you didn't have a chance later on.
Then, I was like, I'll get it next year, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, Ignacio Rendon is saying, and I'm only picking on this, well, because it's, you know, I like to give everybody a chance to have a say. But also, I'm backtracking because I didn't want to make it sound like I'm only picking his comment because of what he said. But I'm trying to fix my faux pas. But T-Mobile would be a great sponsor, he says. T-Mobile is, I actually work with T-Mobile. They're one of our clients in the company I work for. And I'm in the graphics business, and I'm not going to go into what company that is. But you know, T-Mobile, it's funny is, a lot of people, especially when they first start working on the account, they say, oh, yeah, their logo, it's pink. Don't ever say to anybody that works at T-Mobile that is pink.
They say magenta,
it is magenta.
Right?
It is 100%, and it is, by colors. If you open up Photoshop and you look at the colors, it is 100% magenta. It is. But forget about that if you're not in the graphics business, it looks pink, right? It looks hot pink.
Yeah.
But it's magenta. Pink. So would they? Let's say it's a T-Mobile, and this is just a good question for any sponsor. Will a sponsor allow you to kind of make it into the team colors, or are they going to want to keep it their color? So, for example, if it's T-Mobile, will they allow for the logo to be that softer pink color that is our pink, or will it have to be the 100% magenta?
That's very interesting, man. But it might work out because Sprint and I was gonna say magenta, Sprint and
T-Mobile
and T-Mobile, they're merging. They're getting they're merging, so it's gonna be eventually it's gonna be called T-Mobile again. So and Marcelo Claure, he was the CEO of Sprint, and so maybe something can work out there with that sponsorship.
Yeah, one world, one goal is saying solid black. It's too hot for Florida. That would be the away jersey, so they don't have to worry about it being hot in Florida.
Yeah,
but several people like the T-Mobile. Tyler Daniels likes T-Mobile as well.
A lot of people are starting to talk about the possible sponsors, and that's something we could talk about right now, Peter. Who else? All right, we said T-Mobile. Yeah. Who else do you think would be a good sponsor for the main sponsor anyway?
Alvin, I'm going to rip off just other people right now first. Alvin Anderson, welcome to the show. He says Lyft would be a good sponsor as well. I don't know what Lyft or Uber, either one, ride sharing.
Uber is owned by the parent company of Sprint,
is it?
Which is
SoftBank.
What's the name of
SoftBank?
SoftBank. I think they own quite a bit of that. They also own. Somebody else here was saying about WeWork. WeWork also is owned, I believe, by the same company. So, and that's tied into Marcelo Claure, who, he could probably bring in all these sponsors, but I don't know if he's going to be doing all that. We got to bring in the person that does all the sponsorships. So we haven't heard anything about big sponsorships other than Heineken.
No, and I know that is a surprise that we haven't heard any corporate sponsors. What are they waiting for? I mean, that's what Jürgen Menke's job.
Yeah, we need to get Jürgen over here. Jürgen, I'm calling you tomorrow. We need to get you over here. You need some splaining to do, man. Splaining.
And I can understand there's no rush to do it, because they're not playing games until March. But you would think it's a good way to keep the team in the news. And that's something we talked about recently on a previous show where there's no marketing. And this is releasing sponsorship news is great marketing. It's cheap marketing, right? You don't have to put up a billboard. You just are rolling out new sponsorship deals little by little, some big, some small. I mean, it only makes sense. I don't know what's taking so long. But Roger Terry thought that maybe Victoria's Secret might work because it fits our color scheme.
Yeah, Victoria's Secret's pretty cool. Black and pink.
I don't think so. Imagine a bunch of dudes running around with Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret right there, yeah. It'll be interesting.
No.
It'll be interesting,
But
that's a good one, Roger.
We got Tesla. That. Sean the Fish Slayer says City Furniture. See, okay, now here's where my mind goes. And it agrees a little bit with what Bruno Vieira is saying. I think it makes sense. Okay, you could do a big international brand, a Heineken type of deal or something like that. And heck, it could be Heineken, right? But I think it makes sense for your jersey sponsor to be some big company with local ties. Somebody like City Furniture to me makes a whole lot of sense. The biggest company that comes to my mind, Carnival Cruise.
Yeah, Carnival. I don't know if that's gonna work out because is it the owner of the Heat?
Yeah, but they don't have Carnival Cruise on their shirts. He still needs to advertise, doesn't he?
Yeah, do a little crossover.
Why not?
Might work.
They're not competing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Heat and the Inter Miami are competing. So why not? Okay, fine. You don't like that one. Let's go more in the cruise industry, but just any of the cruise industry stuff. What's the one that didn't want us to have that little piece of land over in Miami?
Yeah, I don't think that one's they're gonna use that one.
Royal Caribbean. I couldn't remember the name. Caribbean. I kept thinking Regency, but Royal Caribbean. No.
Yeah, all
right.
I stopped. I think what's his name? There were a couple of people that were saying they were never going to go on that on Julio.
Royal
Julio
Caribbean.
He wasn't going to go on Julio Caballero said that he's never going on Royal Caribbean because they didn't give us that little piece of land.
I'll go on a Royal Caribbean cruise. I don't care. I like cruising, so I don't care. Yeah. I mean, I've only done 3 cruises. Ed. I've done a Carnival cruise, which was a very short one, and then 2. You're going to be surprised by this one. I've done 2 Disney cruises. So that was, I'm sure you're really shocked on that one. But
yeah, that was that.
But yes,
then never would have crossed my mind.
No, of course not. But we won't see any of that kind of. You won't see any Disney sponsorship on our shirts because they already sponsor Orlando City. Not on their shirt or anything, but they do sponsor the stadium. So not the stadium name, but inside the stadium.
Yeah, you see it all over the place. It is a Mickey Mouse Club after all.
Okay, I still don't.
Well,
I still don't think that's a bad thing. More. Yeah. So all right. So another great Florida company, Publix. Somebody else put in there SunTrust Bank. I imagine they're a Florida company. They're called SunTrust. I don't know exactly if they're Florida, but I mean it makes sense that they are. But any company that has super strong South Florida ties, I think makes sense.
Would qualify. Yeah. Hulu's actually listening to us.
Okay.
Or watching us. I always think that people are listening to us, but then I realize, we're on YouTube now.
Well, I guess they'll listen. They can walk away, especially when we're not showing any images. They just walk away and listen.
Well, B King is saying, Bacardi.
Bacardi. I used to use that whenever I was doing the construction updates, and I would talk about stadium sponsors. I always thought that made sense for like a stadium sponsor, a shirt sponsor too, but like Bacardi Park, something like that. Bacardi makes sense as well. But where are these sponsors? The jersey sponsor, maybe that gets released at the same time that the jersey gets released. That makes sense.
That would be good. And I'm just looking forward to some type of announcement now. It's this week. We should probably have something because it's already January.
Well, I think I remember reading that some of these teams previous years had their jerseys released literally weeks before the season started. So we could be seeing mid-February release dates.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's... Well, we got to wait more.
It's possible.
We waited enough.
And think about something that a lot of people online I heard commenting on, and I would totally agree, is just what a lost opportunity. Adidas, I know this is an Adidas problem, but what a lost opportunity on sales for Christmas. How many people... I saw so many people showing their pictures on Facebook of getting their Inter Miami hats. Okay, a hat is $30. Great. But they could have made $170 if they bought the cream of the crop.
That's where the money's at, right there.
So how many people, instead of buying their spouse or loved one a hat, would have bought them a jersey for Christmas?
Ka-ching! Yeah, they lost a big opportunity to make it.
I know under my Christmas tree, my wife would have hooked me up. I know she would have gotten me a jersey if they were available. But what a lost opportunity for MLS and Adidas to make some dough.
Tisk. Yeah, Peter. You know what? They should totally hire you.
No kidding,
man. You've got the good
ideas.
Kidding.
The common sense guy in the company. Just like, but the funny thing is, Inter Miami has no control over when Adidas releases these shirts as far as that goes. So I'm not blaming them, but I will blame them on this white jersey if they didn't speak up and say I want pink, and also I remember in the World Cup, was it the Women's World Cup or the Men's? I don't remember. One of the World Cups, I think it was Scotland that had a pink jersey, Ed, and and it was Adidas, and I thought that's our shirt. Right. That's our shirt right there. It was pretty much the right tone of pink, pretty close. And I was like, that's it. That's what we're gonna wear.
That's what it should be, but no. Well, Peter, I'm going to go back and talk about. I think it's important that once this contract with Adidas is over, that it's time for them to let the teams get their own brand. Because then we're gonna have people are gonna really. You're gonna see Nike trying to outdo Adidas and back and forth, and they're gonna have better jerseys.
As a consumer, that makes sense, but as a company, does that make sense when I know these contracts with Adidas are big. I'd have to Google to see what the last contract was, but they're large. Adidas pays MLS a ton of money to be the supplier. So is MLS prepared to say no to that and go to a bunch of smaller deals? Maybe have 5 or 6 smaller deals across the league. I don't.
But that could add. It could add up. It could be more money.
I don't know.
If you think
I don't
about
see
it.
them turning that money down. And if you look at every other league in this country, they all do the same thing. There's a reason behind why the NFL all has what is it, Nike now? NHL. I don't know what brand it is, but they all have the same. And, baseball. They all use I don't know what it is. Maybe New Era, something like that. But they all use the same exact brands within the same league. It makes sense financially. So I got a feeling when this. Do you know when the contract expires?
I'm not sure, but I'm going to definitely look it up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look it up right now.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking it up, I don't see MLS saying no to. Let's say, for example, it's $50 million. I don't know. I don't even know what if I'm throwing what I'm throwing out is way low or way high. But let's say it's $50 million.
$700 million extension was just made in 2017.
Okay. So my $50 million that I thought might be, a little aggressive is stupid. $700 million. And what does the contract go till?
I'm looking that up right now. It started in 2017.
So it's got to be,
the extension will be
2021.
It was an extension.
Right. So what? Another 4 years or something, maybe?
Yeah, I'm looking it up, man. I'm
$700
scrolling down.
million. Do you think these owners are going to say no to that?
It's a lot of money, Peter.
And
I'm looking to see. Yeah.
And do you think they can? And maybe they can. But do you think by the teams individually going out to Nike and Puma and Reebok and Umbro, if Umbro even still makes shirts, and also, of course, Adidas, if they can individually, collectively come up with more than $700 million by individual agreements?
Maybe not, man. Now that you made me think about it. But look, it's basically coming up. Well, it says it's a 5-year deal, so that was 2 years ago. So they probably have 3 more years ago.
So
they're basically making.
Julio Caballero says in the chat is saying 2023.
2023.
That's
5 years. It's a few more years from now.
That's math.
Yeah, It's 5 years. They were actually making previously $25 million per year. Now they're making $117 million a year.
Yeah. So if Nike wants, if Adidas wants to keep the business, and they're willing to strike for the next deal probably $1 billion, or something, because it's going to be more than 700.
Yeah.
So let's say they strike,
I can't say anything because I was like, I didn't think it was that much, but now that I looked it up, I'm like, wow, yeah, you might be right. They're not gonna.
Unless here's the way. I think here's the only other scenario. I don't see it going back to the way it was. Because if you remember in the early days, there were some wacky looking jerseys that so many different teams had from different companies and some of different qualities and stuff like that. But I don't see it going back to that. The only real option is, in my opinion, is another company bidding for that contract. So if Nike comes up and says, we'll pony up, let's say Adidas says we're going to go 800 million and Nike says we'll put in $1 billion. And all right, sold. Yeah. Nike, you have it. The problem is, Nike, you got the same problem as Adidas has. You're going to all be wearing the same exact jerseys, 4 or 5 different maybe templates, if that many, right? Yeah. Adidas seems to have like 1 or 2. But you're going to have a handful of templates. Like if you think about it, Nike, for example, when outfits a lot of international teams, a lot of World Cup teams, and I remember the year where U.S., Brazil, and all these countries had the same basic jersey, just different colors. So the same thing will happen with another supplier. The only solution for different looks is what you want, and that's different suppliers. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah, it might not happen because they're basically they all own everybody owns a little piece of MLS, and so it's MLS is the one that makes the contract.
And they're not going to say no to 700 million.
And 700 million. Wow, I'm just like, I still can't believe it's that much money.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut now.
I don't see. When you and that's the thing is we sometimes have to put our business hat on, right? Because as fans, we want something, but then you got to forget about what it looks like as a fan and what it looks like as a business is something completely different. And at first and foremost, sports is a business, and they got to make money. And all these teams always claim that they're not making money, but somehow they are, because otherwise team after team after team wouldn't be coming into the league. There wouldn't be new owners dying to come into the league, right? So they're making money, even if their spreadsheet says they're in the red, somehow they're making a profit somewhere. So otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. And they're not going to turn down money, and it's a business, and they've So we've got some more ideas in the chat for names. UNICEF logo on the shirt. I know Beckham has real strong ties with that. I think he's an ambassador for that. Bustelo or Pilon?
No, stay on the UNICEF for a little bit. I don't think they're going to do it right now because they need to make money. That
would be a charity
thing. Money. They started the academy. Yeah. They've done all these things that they need to bring in money now. Plus, they still have to pony up on some DPs. So these guys need to make money. I don't think they're going to go with UNICEF anytime soon.
No, I hear you. And there's and we're near the end of the show, but going off on some of those DP things real quick. I mean, now it's ramping up all over again. Every player under the sun is rumored to be coming to Miami again, and some old ones are now hot again.
Yeah, mention a couple, Peter. Who do you have on your list?
Well, I didn't create a list, Ed, but the big name that pops in my mind is David Silva. They're saying has now made a verbal agreement to come to MLS. But again, how much do we trust it? I some people are fed up with rumors. I still enjoy them. I think they're fun to play around with. But there does become a point where we're frustrated by all these rumors and just sign somebody, right? So, but according to the Daily Star, and I think it's that's where this article is coming from. But I think their source is somebody is like it's a weird thing. It's like an Italian newspaper is reporting about a Spanish player that plays in England, right? It's weird, and but that'd be a great signing. I think most people would be happy with David Silva. No.
Yeah, I would. I remember I talked with a couple of fans this weekend, and some of them were okay with David Silva. Some people think that he's too old. I think he's still good enough. He's still playing in England. I think he's a great player. He'd probably tear it up with MLS, but he needs a striker. A killer striker up top. We've got a couple of strikers right now. I don't know if they're good enough, but with David Silva, for example, if you got Agudelo there, I think that would be a good connection. Carranza is also, he's young, up and coming. So we've got some good forwards that David Silva could feed, and hopefully they can score, but I still think we need a big name striker.
Yeah, and the other names that have been rumored, none of them are really big names. I mean, I don't even know some of these names, but then again, I'm not the most up-to-date on world soccer. I really focus on South Florida stuff. But there's Dorlan Pabon. He's a Colombian. He's been rumored. As we scroll down, there's apparently the club is interested, rumored to be interested in 19-year-old Agustin Almendra. He's currently at Boca Juniors
in Argentina. Yeah, but I don't think he'll come in as a DP. No. He'd probably come in as one of them GAM or CAM or what are the names of those things?
Yeah,
those MLS.
You
money.
Basically you pay down the player's salary on TAM or GAM to make it affordable. So there's also a Chilean striker, 26-year-old Nicolas Castillo. So most people, the thought is that he would take a DP slot. So
yeah,
I mean, just pretty much everybody available. And the one thing we need to get used to, I think, forever, is for this to continue, right? So, especially if we're good. Now, if we suck, that could change, right? Everybody will just say they want to go retire in South Florida because that's what every old person does, right? That's what we'll be known as if we suck. But
Yeah,
if we're good, if we can, then this rumor mill is going to be never ending. Every single year, every player available is going to be rumored to come to Miami.
I think they need to go with somebody that's going to sell jerseys
Agreed.
from the get go. They need to get like Chicharito. He'll still sell. He'll sell tons in Mexico.
Yeah.
He's still good enough. Bring that guy in. Cavani will sell. Suarez would sell. Anybody else you think that would sell other than Zlatan? He's not coming.
Zlatan, no, he signed his deal.
So.
Yeah, no, I was doing something in the chat here. I know Pedro's one that has been rumored. Yeah.
They've been saying, but I don't think he's that caliber that would sell that many jerseys. And I think the team needs to make money back. They need somebody who's going to sell jerseys.
So I think that ship may have sailed as far as the big name selling jerseys. We just need a great player.
Somebody's going to bring us a title.
Yeah. But I think Silva is that name for now. That would sell some jerseys. Yeah. I think he definitely would. Buy it. But okay, bringing it back to the original topic. If you were to buy a jersey with a player's name on the back, not your own, I don't want to see Uncle Ed 69.
Oh, come on, man! You know I'm going to get one of those.
You got a dirty mind, and that's why the 69 thing, right? I get it.
No, man, it's not.
But that's actually my birth year. I'm like, hey, I am a 1969.
Exactly. You are a 69, yeah.
Again, going back to a teenager thing. I was listening to I listened to this talk radio show, and somebody said something about 69, and my daughter's in the car. Dad, what's 69?
That's just a number, honey. The year that your dad was born.
Yeah. Why do they think that's funny, though? And I'm like, we're not talking about that right now. I mean, she's at the age now where she could just Google it. I mean, she's old, she's got a, but.
Yeah, she probably did.
Yeah, well, unless you forgot about it. But anyways, so yeah, what name would you want on the back of the current list of players that we have? Who would you get on the back of your jerseys?
Out of everybody that we've got that we've signed so far, I think I might get Lee Nguyen.
Lee Nguyen.
I think he's a pretty good player, and he's kind of cool. And Nguyen's not one of those last names that is well, unless you're in Vietnam, it's you don't hear about it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe that one. What about you?
Well, part of me wants to go for someone of the young players, but of course I got to see him play a few games, right? Part of me wants to get the young up and coming star in the back of your shirt, Pellegrini or Carranza.
Pellegrini, yeah. That would probably be, or Carranza would be
because those are
probably my
I think we feel pretty confident that they're going to be good in this league from what we've seen them playing in other leagues. So I think we feel pretty confident. But Nelson says Iniesta would be a good addition to the squad.
I don't know, man. He's playing in Japan, right? I think he's in Japan. I think they just became champions. No, it was David Silva. I think they're on the same team.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
I'll tell you who people want, and the chat is mentioning this name over and over again, and is James Rodriguez, and he was. It's
James, man. It's James.
Whatever.
I always it's funny because before I really knew the guy, he's pretty good now, but before I knew that's how you said it, was that it's James and not James. Yeah. I used to say James, and people were like, "Dude, it's James." I'm like, "But it says James." Yeah. But they're like, "No, it's James. You have to pronounce it like in Spanish and stuff." So you need to get it right, Peter. So you can say James.
Yeah, I can say James. I just don't know.
But you don't want.
No. I don't mind saying things right. Mm-hmm. I say a lot wrong. I don't have a problem with doing it right, but
James would be great, but I think he's still too good for MLS. And I hate to say that MLS is not, I think he's just going to cost too much money. But he would definitely sell jerseys. I'll tell you that much. If he comes here, it'll be like a David Beckham type of thing.
And he's only 28, so still young enough. Like you said, maybe too young for the league, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah. But if he would come, man, he'd sell a lot of jerseys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's good, but I'm just going about spelling the name. But also, he's Colombian too. I like that. I will be in Colombia in a few weeks, and so we're gonna actually have to talk about how we're gonna possibly do the show. I will be in Colombia later this month.
Wow, that's gonna be interesting. We'll figure something out.
As long as there is decent internet at the hotel, should be able to do it.
That'd be a lot of fun. That'd be kind of cool.
Be able to, as long as there's decent reception. So we'll see. All right, well, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Do you have any last things you want to say, Ed?
Actually, guys, just to remind you, Peter will have a video of the construction out tomorrow,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Peter will have that. Then we'll probably have some news in the middle of the week. More Peter. You guys can see more Peter if you're obsessed with Peter. And it's funny because a lot of people are always asking for Peter when he doesn't show up to certain events. And they're like, hey, where's Peter? And I was like, all right, he's got a family and all that stuff. And later on during the week, I'm going to try. I'm starting to do my Spanish ones again. So but I'm going to shoot to do that one on Friday. And then, of course, we've got our show, this show next Sunday with our guest, Juan Agudelo.
Nice.
So that's going to be a good show.
Nice. And another Colombian.
Another Colombian.
All right.
Yeah. Colombian American.
Yeah. But Colombian heritage. That's good. And that'll be great. So a lot of good shows coming up. And it's funny, as you said, I have a family or whatever. When I don't show up to events, where I end up usually? Shopping. Yeah, because I have two girls. You know where I was last night? I said I might show up to a Southern Legion event. I didn't. I was at any women that are watching this will know I was at Ulta. Are you familiar with Ulta, Ed?
Yeah, isn't that the makeup place? Oh man,
that's where I spent my Saturday night.
And you were probably looking on social media at all the fun that we were having hanging out with Agudelo.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, what I was doing is I brought my AirPods and I was jamming to some good rock music and just all right, whatever. I just want to be with the family, so that's where they wanted to go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Gotta go shopping, Ed. But anyways, So there's a lot more rumors of people in the here. Of course, Suarez was talked about a lot, and it's always a possibility. But it's an endless stream of players that potentially could come to South Florida and wear those ugly jerseys. So
yeah.
So what I want, I want to go ahead.
Crossing my fingers, those aren't them, man.
Because we think they are. But let us know in the comments below if you're watching this later on. For those of you that are not watching live, for anybody that's watching the replay, let us know in the comments below your thoughts on those jerseys and if you think they're real or fake. We think they're real. We're hoping they're fake, but I got a funny feeling. So let us know in the comments below, and we will definitely catch you guys next week. And as Ed said, make sure to check out all of our upcoming videos. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.